Okay. So I think we want to work on where the shadows are coming from today. Fuck. Or we want to just break a fucking pencil. Come on. One there? Yeah, there's. Fuck. No. Out. Yep. Places to be. All right. All right. I had a sharpened-ish pencil until I decided to sharpen it more. So hang on a second here. God damn it. Would you just not be allowed to use sharpeners anymore? Try that again. Okay, maybe we just won't use a pencil today. We'll just go straight to inks. That's 3 consecutive friggin' pencils I've busted. Holy Christ. That's a record for me. Okay, that'll do. Thank you. Okay. So I think with Fireburn coming out of the hole here, we want him to be the light source. So I'm doing all the rocks here and everything. Have them all centered on him. I think that'll look pretty cool. Does mean we have to actually figure out some light sources on everybody here. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Trying to figure out what I'm doing with my light here. So I do want to come up with something kind of dramatic looking. I'm thinking I'd like to try it with Fireburn being the main light source, but there's still being like an ambient second source. So yeah, it's gonna be a little tough. So let's do it in ink first so that I can figure it out on the fly. I think that's the best way to go. Well, because yeah, they're all coming up out of the hole in the floor here that Hard's making. I think with Fireburn here as the source, it'll get super dramatic. A little bit of like motion blur. Hey, Hartsmith, sure. Feel free. There's a bit now. I just hit video 500, so I mean, you got plenty of content to kind of occupy yourself with then. That is all right when you find like a new thing you want to like check out, and it's like, oh shit, this thing went forever. Well, guess I'm good for a year. So and I kind of figured that was what you meant with the light source. So what is that going to look like roughly? And do I want? I swear it took me like 4 tries to sharpen his pencil. I don't know if I want to waste it now on shading. It's gonna be a tough one because I mean the shading doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's like, okay, what is this source here? But you need to have a secondary source of some kind. Oh, thanks, man. That's what I'm going for. Started out as a 90s parody that was trying to look kind of like a 90s book. And then it's like, well, why don't we just make a really silly 90s book then? I'm having a lot of fun with it. And not enough brainless 90s content out there. Or if there is, I just don't know where it is. Yeah, I like how he does it. A lot of the time it seems like each shape basically gets its own double lighting, and it's just like it's independent of the body. Like the body doesn't have its own lighting set. Well, like not always anyway. It's kind of a difficult thing to figure out sometimes for me. Like I like to wrap my brain around it. I try, man. It's hard. They suck to draw. I don't give Rob shit for not drawing feet most of the time, because like he will draw them. Absolutely, he's bad at it, but he does it, and in my opinion, that makes it okay. What he's doing with the feet when he does draw them. When he does cover up, it's like okay. I mean, I understand. So I mostly go after him for like everything else. I wonder if he'd find that refreshing. I feel like probably not. Rob's method of taking criticism is to, either ignore or spin into success, usually pretty nastily, or occasionally sick the followers on them, which I'm not a big fan of. Okay, let's try this nonsense. Okay. And this spread is going to take me a while, I think. I'll be working on this thing 2 weeks from now, I think. It's funny because every once in a while I'll catch a little bit of one of my old live streams come up and be like, man, how can you sit there and just do rendering lines for like 4 hours? And then, you know, Sunday comes along, it's like, well, like this, man, come on. I don't even know what I'm drawing right now. Okay, this is no good for filling stuff. Just good for a couple of feathering lines every once in a while, I think. I hope so. I mean, you know, I think the layout's good enough at least. Now I was just seeing if I can pull off the finish. And I mean, I think I can. We'll find out. Let's try this and see if it makes any sense. I don't think quite. Yeah, you can. There should be links in the description for this one, so that'll have my Twitter, X, whatever. Um, I do not post to Twitter anymore, though. It's just you're getting so little, interaction or whatever. It's just like it's not worth it to rack my brain trying to think of something to say. I got an Instagram account that I post to very irregularly. And apart from that, there is the Discord, where I do check that out fairly often. Yeah. But if you go to my Instagram, you can at least see the Sin City type cover I put up from on Sunday. That thing turned out pretty good. But no, I'm not very good at the social media side of things, which is a problem because you kind of have to be these days if you want people to actually know who the fuck you are. Oh, awesome! Yeah, no, there is links in for the key thing in the fuck's sake, the description of the video. But yeah, like Twitter and Instagram, I dislike the pressure of having to come up with something to say or show people because it does feel like pressure to me. Let's do these little bolts on his arm band. Sure. And of course, if you draw yourself, we also got the 90s Ashcan challenge going on, where you too can draw a shitty 90s comic. That's seriously the objective. So that's fun to get down on. Come on. One of the funny things maybe about this book is that it looks very 90s, but it would be absolute hell to color because of all the rendering on everything. So you can't get that Ollie Optics thing. Not unless you get somebody who really knows what they're doing, I think. And I don't know anybody like that. Or at least I don't know that I know anybody like that. Hey, good stuff. Yeah, no, I mean, if you want to get in on the challenge, we didn't start it too long ago. Is just see if you can come up with a bad 90s style story. The template is the standard Rob Liefeld story for when he has to do a one-shot, which is a team descends on an installation and punches everyone. And then at the end, the installation blows up. And I mean, the objective is to try to hit between 12 and 22 pages. You might be able to do it in 6, though. And if you want to go that way, feel free. There's no hard and fast rules with this thing. We just want to see people draw shit. Because a lot of the guys, I feel like, are... there's a lot of people who like drew when they were younger and then just kind of stopped. Or, you know, they do it as a hobby, but they don't like do a project. And it's a good way to get something done where you're not super concerned about the quality, where you can like actually just kind of let it slide, like you're an image creator. Oh, and if you guys can help me out, let me know if the music is too loud or if you can barely hear it or if it's just kind of static, because I have no idea what it sounds like. It's coming from my phone, which would be the way I would check. All right, that's looking kind of cool to start with. That wrist seems a little long, but that's, I mean, fuck it. Some of the proportions in this panel are going to be, or page rather, these pages, are gonna be bonkers, and we're just gonna have to live with it. Because I like the energy. Let's make sure we actually have a structure under here for the hand first. Kind of looks like something. Watch me flip it over now and be like, what the fuck? That's not a hand? Also, the size of that hand kind of makes it look like his wrists are really skinny. Ah, shit. Who cares? You know what? Just do the hand. Do the hand. We already went through this. Yeah, get back here. Why did I think anything else was holding us up? Okay. Over the top. There we go. For sure, man. Yeah, no, I don't have fun with digital art for the most part. You see him tweaking it around and shit, and like, it's like, oh, if I bend it this way, and if I can do all these crazy effects. It's like, okay, but like that doesn't impress me because I know you can do crazy shit with a computer. They're like, do it with a fucking pen. You know, I don't know. It's just me. Oh, no, it doesn't seem to be just me. It seems to be a few of us. I guess part of the thing that bugs me is I know a lot of them can do it with a pen, and I just don't. Man, how much better that would look if he did. So, what am I doing for this? It's funny too because I've heard guys who do all the digital stuff. I've heard a guy at least, and I ascribe it to more people who do the digital stuff because that's how we generally work, right? He was saying like, he doesn't even really enjoy drawing all that much anymore. Like he doesn't spend a lot of time drawing. He mostly spends it fiddling with filters and brush sizes, and ooh, here's a new line I can get. And it's like, okay. Meanwhile, no drawings are being made. I don't think that was too bad. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've tried using it myself a little bit here and there, and I can't get the hang of it, or at least not quickly. And that's enough for me, Well, let's make sure it's actually lined up before we try and do the whole thing here. It's like I already know how to draw. Are you telling me I got to completely relearn how to draw? It's like, well, no, it probably wouldn't take you too long, maybe a few months to get like so you're to the point where you're pretty good. But it's like, okay, but like that's months too long. If I can't do it in a week, I mean, even if I can do it in a week, like it's like, oh, I'm busy that week. What are you talking about? think we're probably going to be blacking this entire thing in, but might as well give myself an option here. Nah. Let's see how it is.
Nope.
That's okay. That makes sense. Because I think we decided his head should be around in, that's the neck, that should be the head basically. Oh, maybe that was why that was there. Oh, hey, Paywolf. Pretty much, yeah. This is like a big cavalry kind of deal, like the cavalry arriving. I mean, just a big fight kind of describes the comic a lot of the time, so. Maybe not all the time, like 2/5 of the time, really. There is a lot of talking or like establishing shots. Yeah, I'm digging it so far. I'm not sure where this guy's head should be, though. It's really bugging me. Should be here. That's where it should be. I put it up here. Will that work? I mean, yeah, I don't think I can put it anywhere down here where it makes sense. It's just kind of a shame about this arm, really, being right in the middle of where his face would be. So he doesn't get a close-up when he comes in. Everybody else does. That's just how it's got to be sometimes. Yeah, take one for the team. You know, depends. If he's getting paid for it, then you gotta raise an eyebrow about that, I guess. See, I don't like if it was over here and then he was over here. I would kind of like to get his head in the shot somewhere. Maybe if I actually flesh him out a little bit more. So if he's like down here, because that would make his head right, the base of his neck right about there, which would mean I could go like that, which was the original idea. I don't know if that works. No, true. The thing is, I don't want it to look like his head got smushed somehow. You know, like if I can keep it looking cool either way, I don't give a shit. It's fine, but doesn't matter at that point if it's correct. But if it looks dumb, then I'm not a fan. You know? I think that kind of works. Tiny little button nose and big old mouth. I got to look at it on the smallest thing here. Does that work? I do like his other pick up here instead. Maybe. It still looks a little goofy, but like, I mean, a little goofy isn't the worst thing. I would like it to look cool, but as long as it doesn't look dumb, that's fine, I suppose. Oh, this button here is going to make it look a little bit like his eye. I might have to get rid of that. So this is his other pack. And he's basically looking like that. Big old boobs. I feel like even then his neck should be like this and then head up here, but then again, he's got kind of a small neck as it is. Like his neck is very sucked in. Do it live, exactly. Fuck it. Whole thing sucks. Okay, so if we're going that way, I might not even be able to keep the shadow. I'm not sure yet. Let's just go around that thing. There's a gigantic mouth. I don't know if these bottom teeth are going to stay here. We'll find out in a second, I guess. I might not. I'm going to get to the end of this and I'm going to be so unhappy with it. I'm going to have to just paste over it, I think. That's how it goes. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Yeah, that should be the name of my publishing house, actually. Just a Fight Scene. I think that works. What is his like? What does Hard's head look like? Is this... Yeah, it's all right, I think. Sure. Punch, mostly. This is the fight between Hawkstab and Gun Show, which is being interrupted by the rest of Blood Force coming to the rescue. Cavalry showing up. It is nice that most of the time, when people are like, if people are like, you know, hey, so what's going on this page? I can just be like, punch, you know. Let's see, I think I want it a little bit more actually. Let's do that too. And then let's decide afterwards that it's completely unnecessary and color it all in. This is the magic of doing it live. Another contender for a studio name, Do It Live Comics. Night Punch, yeah. Although that does get very close to the Hitman character Night Fist, with less connotations though, so not quite as funny. Thanks, man. It's going all right so far. I've never heard this mix before, and I already know exactly where every single song is going because it's so fucking repetitive. Let's just go on to the next one. All right. This is the same goddamn mix, just with a different fucking thumbnail. I don't know if I've done that just yet with the AI stream. I can't imagine what AI sounding music looks like. Sounds like, rather. I can't imagine what it looks like. It looks very much like this in terms of the thumbnail. Let's see, where's that? I think this is the one I decided sounded like a bit like Metallica. It's like the second half of the Black Album where nobody listens. Yeah. Honestly, that kind of sounded like that that last metal mix. It just kept repeating the same motifs over and over. It's like, okay, like you got to bring something else at some point. I guess I got to figure out all this back shit going on him here, eh? Oh yeah, that sounds like a lot of music these days. So come on, we all lived through the 2010s. We're all expecting the drop. Where's the drop? I don't think that's the right place for that penumbra. Use some middle first. Doesn't hurt to have. Don't. Where the fuck is your glove? Why are you smearing this thing all over the place? I like this. Okay, do this one first and then see if it needs more. You don't start with the more shadows. And not the worst idea putting a bunch of black right in the middle of the panel, actually. Maybe like a little bit more, but I don't think it goes all the way up here. What in the fuck is that? No, okay. We're learning a lot about our metal mix today. I think a lot of what I'm learning is that non-copyright metal kind of blows. There's a reason nobody copyrighted it. Yeah. I swear I couldn't name you more than like 5 Taylor Swift songs, which sounds like a lot to me, actually. Although I know, like, you know, like if you played like 20 of them, I'd go like, yeah, I kind of know that one. Yeah, I kind of know that one. So, like I said, doesn't really count. They're a bit, you know, but hey, you know, once you pull them off, then they look pretty cool, hopefully. You are staying. You are staying. You are going. And hey, my meeting. I think I'm just realizing you're in the chat. Yeah, I don't think you were in there before. This is for paper. I'm using Strathmore, the 200 stuff. Nothing too pricey. It's like reasonably okay for retaining ink. Not great, but it's better than that Canson stuff. Yeah. And unfortunately, they found out, so they charge more too. Or at least they used to anyway. I was looking for cans and stuff recently just to have something to do like scratch stuff on, or like, you know, or the 90s challenge, that kind of thing. And it was like about as much as getting a bunch of Strathmore. There you go. Stadler and Waldorf. And it's like, okay, if they're costing the same, why would anybody pick Canson unless they just don't know otherwise? Yeah, it is. I mean, it's okay. That's what I started this stuff on because it's cheap. But like, you know, it does all right. It's just it's way too grainy and it buckles too easy and doesn't retain ink like it should. Like if you try to erase it, it's like all coming up. What should we work on here? Could do some Fireburn. But hey man, whatever works, right? I know I'm going to be erasing a lot, and I want it to like be able to look kind of clean when I scan it in. So this is what I got to use. Almost erased Shockblock's hand there. That would have been awful. So I guess Fireburn should mostly be lit from below here, eh? That makes some sense. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit. Particularly since I got to order it every day. That's why I only order exactly as much as I'm going to need. Like I order basically one book per issue. I think it's generally costing about $50 Canadian. It's like, okay, I'm good for a while. Let's see here. I do not know what's going on with his face here. I think. Well, I mean, after shipping and everything for the Strathmore, yeah. Let me see here. What does it go for on Amazon? Although I do have the Prime now at least, so it costs a little bit less on shipping. I think I've got one in cart here. $41.71. So there is going to be some extra shipping on that. Yeah, it's going to be close to 50. But, you know, not much of a choice, unfortunately. Don't have art stores around me. You know he's got, you know he's got shoulder pads, right? Fuck. I guess he does, doesn't he? Like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, hey, Brian, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, we're talking a little bit about what kind of paper I'm using and how much it unfortunately costs. Why? How much does the Koh-i-Noor stuff go for? I don't know if I want to know. It'd still be a lot for me to order. I'm pretty sure. Like if I'm going to find an 11 by 17 book or something close to, like even 11 by 14 looks like it's fucking $38 Canadian. I can't find anything that big. Yeah, 11 by 14 is like the highest I can see on Amazon. Of course, I figure, yeah, Canadian land, yeah. Yeah. I'm quite certain our Amazon isn't as good as yours, of course. Yeah. Oh, Blue Line? Yeah. Blue Line Pro is, I mean, they got a lot of stuff, but it's also very expensive for me to order, unfortunately. A little bit more black in here, I think. Yeah, it still goes for $31.99 for me, for 50 at least. That's not bad. The bulk version, right? Yeah, so that's all right. Dick Blick? I beg your pardon? I bet you they don't ship to Canada. A lot of stuff just doesn't bother. There was that used, what was it? There's some site for like artist editions. There's like cheap graphic novels, something like that. And I was like, oh my god, this is like a treasure trove. And then it's like, yeah, I get to do like a mock-up of a transaction and get to the end and it's like, yeah, we do not ship to Canada. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, that figures. No, I know. Most of us, at least, yeah. Definitely had Raven and Brain. Was okay here. He was. I saw the what's up. Pretty sure Mighty Geek does. Yeah, you do. Yeah. And I saw one or two others, I think. And there's a few more guys that hang out in the Discord as well that often come by on the live streams. And yeah, a lot of us draw. It's kind of a fun hangout. Yeah, we're not artists. We're drawists. Or at least that's what I said. Whenever anybody asks, I'm putting up the commentaries with the subtitle artist's commentary, and it's like every time I get like a shudder. It's like someone's gonna call me on that shit. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, cartoonist is a good way to go. But you know, you say you're an artist, it's like you're putting a value judgment on it. I don't know if I create art exactly. I don't have a ton to say other than that lines are cool. Yeah, no, I'm down with that. I don't know about these muscles, but eh. There you go. Absolutely, Cam. Cartooning is a proper verb. Yeah, for like the first panel in like issues. I'm trying to think of the last time Fireburn looked badass. Maybe the beginning of issue 3, maybe. And I don't know if he will for the rest of this fight. I have no idea what the rest of it's going to look like. I know what the script looks like what they say, but that's about it. So for all the Fireburn fans, you got to get a cool shot in every once in a while. He's like our Iron Man. Iron Man and Human Torch rolled into one. That's who he is. Two second-tier characters combined to make one third-tier character. Well, that's 1 equals 3, exactly. There was one point where I was like spitballing a little too hard. I'm just trying to come up with some names, and like something got mathy. And I was like, no, that's a fucking Alan Moore character. It's like the Mathematician or something. It's like, oh fuck, that's fucking awful. Unless that is an actual one and I came up with something dumber. I can't remember now. Like if you're doing like a Silver Age book, maybe you can get away with that. Maybe. Yes, exactly. Now I want to look through the names and find what that fucking name was. I'm pretty sure that wasn't it. That was like the beginning of something that sounded kind of cool. Not cool, but like at least funny. I can't remember what it is now. Also, like I remember to do the Fire Whirlwind, because that's always a cool way to do that particular effect. What is this? The Numbers TV series with. That sounds like it could be like a crime drama. Unless it's like, when, yeah, or like if it's a crime drama, but with a detective who is also a mathematician. That would be fine. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that exactly. The brother of the oh, my mistake. Quite sorry. But they love that shit, yeah. That was what was it? I watched too much of the Dropout app. It does get pretty funny from time to time, but they were talking about like some TV show where he's a detective and exactly one other thing, you know, and they got to keep making that show because America just can't get enough of that concept. The Kickler? No, afraid not. Not in this book. I remember running that by my brother, and he was like, "That's kind of an order of deviation past how silly you probably want this book to be." It's like, shit, I think you're right. Fuck. I really like the Kickler though. Kickler, you're getting into like dog welder territory, you know? Which is still like it's funny, but like it's not the same kind of like vibe. Yep. Shit. I guess I should put the little whatever the symbol is on his chest too, eh? I mean, maybe he shows up in like the inside front cover from time to time. It's just like, can you find the Kickler? I can see doing that. He's kind of like a Hamburglar character. Come on, come on, come on. Match up, match up. I mean, for me, for certain bits, it's easier to keep it together, but only really like, for the linked images. Usually I can get away with just doing one page at a time. You just got to be careful you don't forget some element that affects the other side, I think. Like a big old fucking light source like this, I think that's most of the reason I'm keeping this around. But if I do break it up, I mean, I'm almost guaranteed to forget something that's supposed to carry over. So it's with the caveat. Well, I mean, for one thing, Rob doesn't go this hard on double page spreads. Stephen Platt does, and he was not. I mean, he was maybe cranking out a splash in a week, But like Rob would basically draw a guy as a double page splash a lot of the time. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the time he did it on a single piece of paper and then just flipped it sideways. Yeah, Todd's a little different. Todd generally didn't fake detail. I mean, he did ease up on it as Spawn progressed, and I mean, he didn't exactly stay on that too long. So, but like in his Spider-Man days, like yeah, no, that was some genuine noodling. But like here, hang on, let me get the. Here, we'll do the extreme sacrifice splash because I just put that up, right? All right, I forgot this thing falling out. So this is a Liefeld double page splash. There's a few less lines. You know, like there's about as many. I've got about as many lines on the page now as Liefeld does on this whole thing. And also, I'm pretty sure this is, yeah, like one page and may even have started out as a smaller image that he blew up. Because he tends to do that a lot. No. There will be no vertical double page splashes. I hate them. I hate having to turn my book on its side. And I don't see any point to doing two up and down. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, unless I'm doing like just a gigantic splash of a dude flexing, I'm going to spend like a week or two drawing every fucking vein I can think of, though, if I have to do that. I mean, that might be fun as like a giant punch if you throw in 2 pages worth of detail. That's the thing. So often you don't get those 2 pages that the vertical double page splash is almost always a ripoff. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. I think I have another double page splash planned for this issue. It's actually going to be like more intensive than this one. I don't know if I'm looking forward to that or not. Well, I'm not really, because I know it's going to be like, there's going to be like backgrounds and stuff in that one too, which I'm not really bothering with in this one. Thanks, man. Appreciate you sticking around. But yeah, there's towards the end of the book. I can't remember the context now. Oh yeah, this is because there is the bit earlier that I'm actually still in the middle of the scene with in the on the bridge of the Clerg's ship, where they're talking about, you know, how the Popo has escaped and is terrorizing them. You know. And then afterwards, to end the book, we're gonna get just like pan shots essentially of like the like various locations inside the Clerg's ship where there's like just damage all over the place. No bodies really. Maybe like the odd one here or there. But we're just basically gonna be moving down the halls, and then the big double page splash is gonna be like a pile of bodies with like Popo standing off to the side and maybe lighting a smoke, because that's what you would do in the 90s, right? And also, I kind of want to smoke. I haven't decided if Popo smokes or not. Maybe. He's the kind of character who would. And it's like, oh man, the exposition leading up to that is so far up its own ass. I'm really proud of it. Cigars feel like a cop out. Everyone's, people still smoke cigars. Cigarettes were cool in the 90s, god damn it. Particularly in comics, floppy cigarettes. Okay, let me see if I can find this exposition, because I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so the description. Oh yeah, it's just various shots of dead clerk lying in the halls, because that's how far my description generally goes on a script. Okay, it's like the halls of the alien ship have become a morgue, a space morgue. Where once these passages were filled with the sounds of stomping and clanking, now there is just the whisper of carbon smoke leaving corpses, and the occasional spizz of sparks flying, and then a sound effect, of course, going spizz. And this is what remains of the clerk soldiers who dared to seek out their doom, or just those who were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Their sundered armor stands as a testament to poor choices. But was there ever really a choice? Are people's, and aliens, lives their own, or are their fates predetermined? And if so, is there a system of existential justice? Are all actions tallied and eventually repaid befittingly? Or was it just chance that crossed the paths of a couple hundred alien warriors with the personification of righteous indignation? What god would allow such a cataclysmic convergence that rocks the very foundation of this rugged hinterland? Perhaps there is no plan. Perhaps there is no architect, and perhaps there is ultimately no reckoning for those who have wronged the innocent. But even if that be the case, one man walks this bedlam, a cosmic singularity of reprisal in this maelstrom of impermanence. And if God cannot be bothered with ensuring each entity receives their allotted compensation as determined by their own deeds, and then you flip to the big 2-page spread with like Popo standing in front of the pile of corpses, and it just goes, then Popo will do it for him. It's just like, like I said, so far up its own ass. Just like, this is the most important 3 or 4 pages of comics that has ever occurred. No, I'm quite pleased with that. I like it even a bit more now, actually, after having read a little bit of Jim Starlin's stuff, and it's like, man, it's kind of right up that alley too. Well, they can always catch the replay, and I mean, eventually it's going to show up in the book. I just got to make the book available, right? Yeah, there's gonna be a bit. I mean, I can do the Wills thing where I really just kind of, go leaving some negative space. So I mean, the pictures will be largely untouched, and then you just get the caption off to the side. I mean, you're still technically getting shorted on greats because theoretically that space could be filled up with more greats, but it's not blocking it specifically. Your view is untouched. That'd probably be a good way to go anyway, to save me a little bit of time in coming up with that page, because that, even the lead up page where I'm panning around the ship, is going to take a fair bit of time to get through. The spread with like, I'm picturing like a Dutch angle, probably like that, and then like Popo standing here, maybe walking away, lighting a smoke, and just big pile of clerk bodies up against like, like some alien walls. I'll bear it in mind. And I mean, like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I have no idea if I can draw this spread. It's like, so that'll be fun. I didn't know if I could draw this one, either of those, and it's so far it's turning out pretty good. Thanks, man. Yeah, no, I swear, most pages, like the ones where it's just heads talking, are the easiest ones. They're also the most boring, but I'm also like, okay, I know how to do this. When I gotta do like action shit, it's always like, okay, well, let's see what this looks like. No idea if I can pull it off. There have been a few where it's like, yeah, I didn't quite get there, I think. And then there have been a few where it's like, where the fuck did that come from? Like the one I think of most is the shot of Cyberzerk kicking Hawkstab in the face, and like the Cyberzerk pose is like pretty much perfect, and it's like, fuck, I've never even drawn that pose before, and I don't think I stole it from anybody. I just kept, it's like, okay, you gotta twist them more. No, wait, twist them more and more and more, and it's like, I don't. If I twist them any more, something should theoretically be breaking. It's like, okay, perfect, right there, hold it. Oh, fuck no. I don't even look at anything most of the time. Sometimes I have a pose in mind, and I'm more like working off what I remember of the pose. That's kind of what this turned out to be. But like stuff like even this pose, like, you know, I don't think I've drawn this specific pose before. I feel like we've all seen this pose 100 times. This feels like one of the first times I've gotten it pretty good, at least in the pencils. We'll see how the inks turn out, but yeah, don't draw what you can trace, don't trace what you can copy, don't copy what you can steal, something like that. I think he says steal at some point. Yeah, that's the thing. That's an interesting guy to be saying that, because like anybody else, for the most part, and you're like, man, you should not be saying that. You don't have the work to back it up. But Wally did, right? Yeah, right. Like when a master says, take as many shortcuts as possible, it's like, fuck, I better do that then, you know? Okay, I better draw these lips. It's looking weird without the lips. Yeah, better. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you're just drawing, you know, you can always copy, of course. Particularly if you're not trying to sell to anybody. By all means, feel free. You're just not doing anything, right? If you're trying to make deadlines, you know, there's at that point you're like, okay, well, we gotta make some considerations. Yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, I learned that from fucking reading a whole bunch of Image comics too, or not even that. Like, you know, like everybody who has produced monthly work, I would say, not the guys like Art Adams or even Mike Mignola, who will just mostly do special edition stuff. Anybody who has maintained a monthly pace for any kind of length of time, you can, you know, if you look closely at their work, you can see shortcuts all over the place. And that's a kind of a powerful lesson, I think. It's an important one for if you're trying to create comics in any kind of volume. Which is also partially the point of the 90s Ashcan challenge, right? Learn how to stop being a perfectionist with your work. If it's for your own gratification, edification, one of the vacations, by all means, feel free to spend however long you want on it. If you want to finish something, stop caring that much. You gotta do something. You're ended the lesson. And I mean, the funny thing is that your shit improves faster that way because you're burning through pages, and you're not when I feel like you don't learn as much when you sit there and you noodle and you erase and you noodle and you erase. That doesn't teach you anything. But what you find when you burn through pages, you find solutions. Or you find faster ways to get similar results, and then sometimes you find better ways. Yeah, exactly. Such is the point of Blood Force. Another good name for a publishing house. Crap anyways. Yeah. That's why, I mean, so often I just go for like close enough to what whatever the fuck I imagined in my head, I guess. I don't even know what that is most of the time. By the way, I should point out that this scene here is taking place in what's essentially an underground office building, and we're like punching rocks out of the floor and shit. I mean, linoleum tiles isn't going to be a lot of fun, so I figure why not? Just all of a sudden we're in like a cave. Ah, the lesson for digital artists. Yeah. Honestly, I almost never watch them, so it's like I'm kind of taking your word for it, or it's like I kind of know what you're talking about. The only like my brother does digital stuff. That's mostly how he draws, and it's like so I see some of the stuff he does, but he's also aware of the fiddly nature of drawing digitally, so I think he keeps in mind trying to not fuck around too much. I mean, like he's like all of us in that he has like just dozens of 3 days into it projects, and then that's as far as you got. I've got more than my share as well. Yep. Yep. I think we're all there. That's probably for the best. Because like, yeah, like you can spend forever on a single drawing, and it's like, okay, and at the end of the day, if you're lucky, what do you have? A drawing. You know, that maybe you show some people and they go, that's so cool. And that's, you know, okay, you done now? This is my motivational speech. I guess I should do like laces or something in this, eh? Ugh. See, with Popo, it makes sense for him to have Velcro boots because he's just so dumb. I feel like Shockblock would have laces. Maybe Shockblock's smart enough to realize that nobody's got time for laces. He's not in the future yet where we all wear slip-on shoes, but you know. And what always makes the drawing look better is Lionel Francis U lines. Just random texture lines going across a thing. I gotta say, I didn't get nearly as much of this done as I thought I would. I'm thinking of wrapping it up. Where are we? I'm a little bit past the 2-hour mark. I could do some dinner pretty soon. It's like 9 o'clock. Yeah. Is it? God damn it. It's like, where's the O2? Okay, so, and where does this actually figure this out? Where does this thing go? So that's that. That's that. You go away. Now, go. Does he go away? There we go. So that is going up here. And that's where the boot is, the thing. I feel like this should be where this is pointed. Yeah, more like that. Makes a bit of sense. Fuck, my fucking scanner just woke up. That's terrifying. This, is it scanning something? What the fuck is going on? That's fucking weird. What are you doing? Put your update. Okay, that's fine then. All right. So I didn't want to be here when my fucking printer came to life. I was hoping that shit would happen at work, if anything. Or when I was at work. It's still disturbing. Just realize it's not, I don't think, where the shadow was intended to be. More like that. Now I don't remember. Okay, hang on here. We're going to figure this out. And then I'll take off. Obviously do not have the brain power for this anymore. I feel like I had this, and then I started coloring over it. I'm getting kind of sense. He looks like he's wearing like fucking hammer pants. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm gonna shut it down for the night. Ugh, fucking neck is tight. I just need some dinner. And work. I still need to. I need to edit tonight. So you know, the usual excuses. Sorry. Two and a bit. That's what I got tonight. Yep. All right. So thanks for sticking around, man. Yeah, I think it looks okay. I like this arm. This is like not bad. He's, I don't know. I feel like I lost a bit on him, but that's okay. He's not nearly the most important thing here. The important thing is to get the arm right and to get Hawk Stab right, because this is going to be tough. This is a fucked up perspective on him here. So we'll see how that goes. There you go. Yeah, I don't know if I can finish it on Sunday. I guess we'll find out. It seems unlikely now. I thought I'd get more of this done today. Anyway, thanks again, man. I'll see you in the Discord during the week. Up until then, I'm sure. There you go. Channel Tunnel Rob. Yeah, just make the shit up and then do it quick. All right. Have a good night, man.